Hello, this is Eileen, the Environmental Educator, and in this video we're going to talk about something that the whole world has refused since November '93, and that is ending basically disposable eateries. Stadium concessions here, but everywhere. I've been looking to end our disposable society, and no one has allowed it, which no one means everyone. But right here, this is BBC. Single-use plastic takeaways face ban in October. It says it's 3 days ago. Today is January 17th, 2023. As you can see right here, I took a screenshot of my computer screen just because, in the future, people are like, well, 3 days ago, when? So that's the date right there. And so, let's just take a look at this a little bit here. A ban on some single-use plastics will come into force in England in October, the government has announced. To tackle the glowing plastic problem, takeaways, restaurants, and cafes must stop using single-use plastic cutlery, plates, and bowls. Green groups welcome the move, but said it could go further to address packaging being sent to the landfills. And what did the environmental educator try to do since November '93? Oh, that's right. Not just, end disposable from homes to fast food to stadium concessions, but packaging and transportation packaging. Oh, that's right. And who's prevented it? Everybody, headed by Gore, Vail. Okay, here, every environmental voice you could think of. The ski industry, Vail was the first to refuse, leading with responsible eateries. Big Sky, you want to know what Big Sky thinks about taking care of the environment? This was my signs on the street asking Big Sky. Well, that was asking to give Bill Gates his zero wish. This is going up to the Yellowstone Club right here. And the Yellowstone Club, their massive plow came out on a day where, in a place where the Yellowstone Club does not plow, and this is like a 25-mile-an-hour road, and it was going 25 mile an hour till he got to my signs. It sped up. Look at, okay, now here I had him leaning against some wooden crates. Now, crates that were sitting out here on the road flew to here. Here's my sign from the road. That is how powerful the impact was. And that is what Big Sky thinks about doing good for the environment. Okay. So it's not like I haven't tried to get people to lead. Let's take a look at Albie Gore here. Right here, 95 from the vice president's office. Basically, why are you bothering me? Vail. I lived in Vail. 98, after I met Joe Kennedy, he tells me that for his part, he fully intends to keep his focus on continuing the solid record of achievement that has characterized his administration since we first took office. And like I told him, L, you've achieved nothing. All you do is scream louder for more desperately needed solutions, which is only going to continue and get worse. And that's all Al Gore has done. But he said, you can be sure that it has been read thoroughly and that your comments have been carefully considered, meaning what the work I sent to him. This was after Joe Kennedy got it past Al's subordinates to Al. Okay, and not like I ever stopped bothering Joe, but I mean Al, but it took Joe to intervene. And then in '99, I am impressed with your hard work and commitment to the ideas contained in the material you provided me. Please be assured that your suggestions will be considered. But thank you for keeping me informed of your efforts and bringing this proposal to my attention. But will he do anything? No, not since shortly after November '93. Okay, to get a letter from a public servant's office, especially a VP, you badger them forever and ever and ever. So I started November '93, the Environmental Educator, and it took 2 years almost, a year and 3/4, a little less than that, to get a reply from Al Gore, who's out there screaming for solutions. And where is Albie today? Oh, that's right. I reminded him in Sundance in Redford of their fraud, but they still went out in 2017 and screamed another movie, screaming for solutions when part of the proposal was the solutions movie the world needs. Okay, but here he is, more in 2017. He thanked me for my interest in Gore and his crucial work he's doing for the planet. But we're unable to assist you with your request of actually getting solutions to the world. This is from the office of Al Gore. And then I was like, hey, not so fast. Of course, I just don't. I reply back to them. And then I got this reply from the same guy, James Hunsberger. Please consider taking action that can be of use as opposed to sending pointless emails. Okay, so Al Gore, this absolutely was the proposal, that I sent Al Gore along with the solutions movie the world needs. And Al Gore has been opposed to it since November 93. This right here, this headline wouldn't be making news today if Al Gore or anyone or Vail or Bobby Kennedy or Bill McKibben or Billie Jean King led with reusable stadium concessions, because the whole world would already be doing it. But here we are. So Britain's going to take the lead. And the British Takeaway Campaign told BBC News that businesses need more support to implement it. Fish and chip restaurants and other takeaways will become more expensive as small companies are forced to pass on higher costs of packaging to consumers, suggests Andrew Crook, who runs a fish and chip shop in Lancashire. But England uses about 2.7 billion items of single-use cutlery, mostly plastic, a year. 721 million single-use plates, according to estimates by the Department of Environment and Rural Affairs. So Mr. Cook, right here, Andrew, said, went from Andrew to Mr. We believe in doing our bit for the environment, but many small businesses are just hanging on. There's always an excuse to not. Believe me, I know 29 years of excuses, okay? It says plastic-free packaging is more common in takeaways now, he says, but it can cost 12 pence per item more. And so that's plastic-free packaging, but still, just because it's not packaged, it's still a single-use item, and we need to totally end our disposable society. Okay, so let's see here. The managing director of Bakehouse in London, E5 Bakehouse in London, said that for them, it's been a very positive story. The cafe switched about 5 years ago, and in 2021 stopped using all throwaway coffee cups altogether. Now it uses a mix of compostable packaging or reusable cups or takeaway boxes. And so here's somebody that they tried to get people to buy these reusable tins if you're going to take, things out and then you bring them back. And it said at first they were quite popular, but now they're not heavy in use. Because why is that? Customers still value convenience. Okay, I mean, years and years and years ago, I told people, when you go to a restaurant, bring a reusable container with you so that you just bring your doggy back home in your reusable container. But oh my God, like asking somebody to do something, they want the simple solution. They want, well, we have solar panels, so it's all fine. Well, you know what? Now my disposable cup decomposed. Like, no, I'm doing good. They want to think they want to do good, but they don't want to have to do anything. And if they're going to be inconvenienced, then that's the line. It's just it's just insanity. And we didn't have environmental problems when we weren't a disposable society. So it says here that from October 2023, retailers, takeaway, food vendors, and the hospitality industry will not be allowed to sell single-use plastic plates, trays, bowls, cutlery, balloon sticks, and some types of polystyrene cups and food containers. So decades, decades too late, but they're the leaders. They're the leaders. Scotland and Wales introduced similar legislation in 2021. They say the compostable packaging is more expensive. We are now more careful about what we use a takeaway box for. So I suppose we are reducing waste that way. Helen explains. And Helen is she runs the place that did the tiffin tins where they tried to sell these tins and then people bring them back and take their stuff, and it was popular at first, but then oh my god, it's just so inconvenient. Okay. Okay, now here's ridiculousness. I mean, this guy has done good in that he saved about 60,000 throwaway cups from a landfill, and he does ride around on a bike to do it. But right, this is just catering to, oh, I just don't want to, I'm inconvenienced. This guy makes it easy for them. Okay, so he picks up a large box of reusable cups and loads them onto his bike. E5 encourages customers to bring their own cup, but people who forget can use a startup service by Reuser, which is one of several companies offering this in London. So this guy here, Reuser, I guess, customers can download an app, scan the cup, and after enjoying their coffee, they must return the cup to the cafe within 10 days or pay a fee. Reuser collects the cups, take them to be cleaned, and returns them to the cafe again. So this guy is providing a service for, instead of the coffee shop having reusable mugs, he's doing it, but I mean, he's riding a bike around. He's not riding a car around, but, he's using them in reusable containers too. But that's, let's change the way we take away. Yeah, but it doesn't include him. Guess what, people? People just have to be responsible. This is something that it should never have come into the equation. Okay? That is ridiculous. Yes, it's popular because it makes people think, oh my God, I'm doing good, but I'm not inconvenienced. I still do it at God forbid I carry a reusable cup. I mean, why doesn't the coffee shop just have reusable it's this business is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But right here, Helen, that lady says customers were initially put off by the extra steps. Okay, but then once they get past the barrier of a new system, they're generally happy. It's become normal here. So what's the new steps? Now you have to go onto an app and jump through hoops instead of just carrying a cup. It's ridiculous. People just have to start taking responsibility. Okay, so Ms. Lateur, who is the managing director of that E5 bakehouse, so she went from Lois to Ms. This writer starts out calling you by your name and then by a title. Okay, says the risks in switching were daunting and suggests the government provide more incentive for businesses to become more environmentally friendly. What? The government has to, because even though we don't want government in our lives, unless the government provides us incentives, then why are we doing this? I mean, this is ridiculous. Okay, you know what, when the whole world is screaming that we need solutions, you step up to the plate and you be it. How about that, Al Gore? How about that, Vail? How about that? Redford, Sundance, the NRDC, Hanson, McKibben, Sanders, Climate Reality Project, that's Gore, Greta, the Youth in the Youth Climate Case, Patagonia. How about that, people? Aspen, the National Ski Area Association, Big Sky. Oh my God, they just, for years, they could have been the leader. And still, will they? No, 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 no. Because why? They don't have to. And they're not decent enough people too. In Gore and all environmental voice um, cases, I guess because it keeps them in a job of screaming for solutions. So that lady Helen, everyone needs to remember that all single-use items, regardless of material, have an environmental impact. And yeah, that's that's so true. And it says this announcement is really just nibbling around the edges of a giant problem. Greenpeace commented. Now Greenpeace has been refusing solutions since shortly after I started. They were way bigger, had more of a presence in the 90s, and I'm like, hey, use your voice. Would they? No. No. Have I bothered them as much as Gore and other people? No. But did they ever reply? No. Okay, so who created this giant problem? In part, Greenpeace. They could have stepped up long ago, but no. Have you ever heard them talking about this? No, no, no. You know, and they call on the government to introduce targets for supermarkets to offer um, reuse schemes. And yeah, it should just be everywhere. It should have been everywhere a long time ago. Like the Environmental Educator tried to have it happen since November of 93. And who prevented it? Oh, that's right. Gore, everybody, Greta, the ski industry, everybody. So stay tuned, people.